We're going to go ahead. We got some crazy things going on in the world of baseball as we get ready to proceed to give y'all what y'all need. True Man, False World, reporting live, scene represented. We got Trav. We got Jorge. We got Category 5. Look, man, we just going to jump right into it. The world has been shaken. The Dodgers probably just won the World Series again. And we ain't even going to hold you. Fellas, Jorge, I'm just going to pass it to you. I'm sick of Ty. Just know we steal some hitting son of a guns in Houston. We don't care what pitchers y'all got, but y'all got some good pitchers. Jorge, let's break down this trade, man. Dodgers get
Scherzer. Yeah, man, it's crazy. One of the teams that coming into this year didn't need much help, but as we got three or half of the way in, they needed help because of their rotation. Kershaw is not healthy. Dustin May's gone with surgery, Tommy John surgery, and now they pick up Scherzer, a reliable arm that's done it before, that just won the World Series 2 years ago. What can I say, man? The Dodgers, the richer keep getting richer, the Dodgers keep getting better, and it is what it is. And I'm going to pass it to my man Storms because he came up with a good point as to why they went up to Scherzer and what they saw. Take it away, Category.
I think a big part of it has to do with the way the series against the Giants just went. They dropped 2 out of 3 and find themselves 3 games back and are probably taking a step back and looking at things like, do we really have what it takes to get there right now? Can we win this division? Get that first seed in the playoffs? Can we get past this team in a postseason series? And speaking of postseason series, you got to think that they're taking a step back again and looking at Clayton Kershaw in particular. This is a guy who has been criticized a lot over his entire career about not getting it done in the playoffs. And he finally got it done in the playoffs last year, but albeit in a very short season. And now that we're back to the full 162-game slate, he's going on the IL with wear and tear injuries. That's not a good look. So the Dodgers probably looked at this and said, okay, now we're looking at this and saying we don't know if we're going to find ourselves in a situation where our ace is on the shelf in October, or if he's available, but he can't get through, he can't get to the 6th inning without giving up 5 runs. Because he's just got the mileage. And that's just – Kershaw is the first ballot Hall of Famer. There's no doubt about it. But that's been the knock on him his whole career. And I said it last year. He got it done, but he's got to do it again for me to put those criticisms to rest because it's not the same. And I think the Dodgers are recognizing that. And that's why they went out and added Scherzer.
Yeah, and I mean, let's not get it twisted, fellas. The Dodgers came into this with the best team on paper and also showed last year what the best team on paper can do. And they just added another piece to the best team on paper that'll help them probably get to the World Series. Let's say what it is. And they needed it. What happened to Trevor Bauer? Trevor Bauer is still not playing for them because of what's going on with him in the court. I mean, we don't want to speculate. We don't know what's going on, but he's not on the field. Dustin May, like I said, he's hurt. Clayton Kershaw, he's hurt. And like Storm just said, he continues to be hurt. This is going to help them move one of their 3 starting guys to the bullpen, whether it be Price, Gonsolin, or Gray, their rookie Gray. So why are you going to roll with those 3, like Storm just said, and when you can pull one of them in the pen and try to outpitch, the Giants, even though it's going to be hard to do because the Giants have been pretty good this year. And, unlike what a team in the East is doing in the AL East, adding bats, which is what we're going to talk about in a second, they added, an arm, which is what we always say. You can't have enough arms going into the playoffs. And the Dodgers just added a bona fide arm.
See, here's the thing, too. And this is something, too, that I want people to understand about this whole thing with the Dodgers. When you're in these big markets and you have the fortunate ability for you to have not only deep pockets, but also have a good farm system, which we've already here at the Dish explained how good some of the prospects the Dodgers have. We're just talking about prospects and why prospects make these trades happen. Like everything we have prepped y'all for in the last 6 weeks has occurred over this stretch for the MLB trade deadline. We talked about small ball. We're going to see some more of that coming up here as we talk about other things. We talked about the prospects and how important they are. We talked about the arms. We've also talked about this being maybe the year of the pitcher in a lot of different ways. And the Dodgers just added more pitchers in the year of the pitchers. So, I mean, we've talked about all of this stuff. I don't know what else y'all need to see that we don't see the game or whatever the case is. Like, we have put it all out there for y'all. But the fact that we're here now talking about prospects being the biggest part of a trade that got a A-plus player. Let's be straightforward. Matt Scherzer is a A-plus pitcher. If he was an A-plus pitcher, if he was an A pitcher, you didn't give up nothing for him.
He's the one pitcher you can argue outside of maybe Verlander that's been at the level or better than Kershaw over the last 10 years, and now they're teammates.
Yep.
Regular season, Scherzer is way better than Kershaw in the playoffs.
And to go with what Storms is saying, this is the only team in the MLB that can do this, that can add a player like this without hurting the current roster and without hurting their future. And it's crazy that they did it. Not only did they get Scherzer, we're not even talking about Trae Turner.
Y'all lucky.
Shortstop.
Y'all lucky that Storms was on the phone with AAA on Wednesday.
Yesterday,
because he would have called this on Wednesday, and then this would have happened, and then y'all would have been, you see, again, man, listen, man, we can't keep putting the red carpet out for y'all, man. We giving y'all the whole game, and it's unfolding like we saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I told Jorge Tuesday,
man, stop playing. Oh,
I told Jorge Tuesday night that this was a possibility. Of course, I thought the centerpiece for the Dodgers going to Washington was going to be Dustin May, because he's under control for 5 years. And, when you're sending two guys of that caliber one way, that's a very covetable piece, because you don't get pitchers of his caliber with that much team control that aren't already making a ton of money very often. And so I thought that was going to be, I was just as shocked as I was to learn that they traded for Danny Duffy. I was to find out that there's no major league talent as far as current major league talent going back to Washington. And that's why we're saying that the Dodgers just won the World Series in July. Ooh. They took the already best team on paper and added not only two all-stars, but a top 3 pitcher and a top 5 shortstop without giving up any major league talent at all.
Correct. That's absolutely correct. This is my guy Ham. He always tell me about the Spurs, and it's like they just some shot-making bastards. They just continue to get stuff that to make them improve. This is me with the Dodgers. We had our shot last year to take them down. We didn't do it, but yet you get these folks and they study getting better. They get better and better and adding more pieces that they do need. But, I mean, if you want that shot at the title and the environment is enticing to go to and the trade is worth getting, well, in their case, whoever the other team didn't get too much of nothing. But you give these folks this. Man, you might as well can sign them up. At least the NLCS.
Yeah. And this is trumping. Let's not forget what the Padres did earlier in the week, and we talked about this about Frazier being on the move, the second baseman for the Pirates. We said he was going to be traded. He got traded. He didn't go to the team that we called, but he went to the Padres, and now the Padres have an all-star infield with Frazier, Cronenworth, Tatis, and Machado, all in the infield. And now everybody just forgot about that trade because the Dodgers just got Scherzer and Trae Turner.
Any word on what the Padres package for Scherzer was?
No, I didn't see that. I didn't see what they were trying. The only thing I think Hosmer was, they were trying to get rid of Hosmer because.
Do you know what the package was? Storm?
No.
I thought you were trying to put us on a quiz or something. I thought you knew. I thought you probably knew something that we didn't know.
The one thing I was seeing a few hours ago was that the Padres had hit their limit and Washington was waiting to see if anybody was going to beat their deal. And the Dodgers obviously did. So that makes me curious, given that there's no major league talent going back, what the Padres were offering, because they it's not like they have a bottom five farm system, but they don't have nearly the assets the Dodgers have. And so one of the major speculations around that would be that Hosmer would be the centerpiece of that trade. That's what I thought was so surprising about no current major league player going back that way in the Dodger trade.
We'll see some later. It'll be like, I call it after the fact news, like after everything that happened, this would have been or whatever. We'll see something like that in a couple of days.
I'm gonna say this, and then we're gonna move on. Just to wrap this up and move into the next part. The Dodgers are in one of them situations where they can put another team together while putting themselves together, because they have so many assets. They don't have any liabilities on that team, that they have no piece on that team that they can't move or maneuver. We got to understand that.
It's got to be one of being in that front office has got to be one of the most, not that there's a relatively stress-free jobs in sports. Because I mean, you got it, as long as you don't really mess up somewhere along the way, you got yourself set up pretty good for a really long time.
They just want you to drive. Don't flip the car. Just drive.
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do next is let's flip it over to the AL. Jorge, I'm gonna let you take it over from the AL perspective. Let's talk about a couple of things that have been going on there, and then we're gonna move on from there.
Well, the biggest side on the AL is the Yankees. With the Yankees, we thought for a little while that they may be sellers. Definitely not sellers. They got two pretty big bats in their lineup to go with a couple of bats that they already have. They acquired Anthony Rizzo from the Cubs, and they gave up two prospects, one in Kevin Agatran, which is an outfielder, and another a right-hander, Alexander Vizcaino. And not only that, they had the Cubs pay the remaining salary that Rizzo has for this year. So that tells you that the Cubs were like, take him. So listen, we just talked about pitching, and this is something that the Yankees have needed for a while, and this is something that they have not addressed. And not only did they get Rizzo, the day before they got Joey Galloway from the Rangers.
Gallo.
I don't know what they're doing, man. I don't know what they're doing. Look, Joey Galloway has already he's already has
Gallo.
100. I mean Gallo. Excuse me. I don't know why I say Galloway. Gallo.
And this is coming from an Ohio State fan, so he knows.
Right?
The Ohio State University.
So
Excuse you, Trav.
So Gallo, he's already struck out 125 times this year. So what is he gonna do to that lineup?
I got a rebuttal to that point.
What is that?
So you're right. He struck out 125 times in basically half a season. That's a lot. But he also leads the American League in walks, and he's not far off from being top 10 in baseball and on base percentage. So the strikeouts don't hurt you that much. Plus, they accomplished one of their objectives, which, I mean, we'll talk about their priorities in a minute, but they accomplished one of their objectives in adding left-handed impact bats to the lineup. So one of their big concerns was they had too many right-handed bats. The lineup wasn't balanced. So they fixed that. And both the guys they added are high on-base guys. But continue.
But with Stanton, Gallo, and Judge, each one of them is going to strike out over 125 times this year. That's 375 strikeouts in 3 players. And they need pitching. So,
well, Aaron Judge is going to strike out 225 times. Then Stanton is going to strike out
175.
No, Stanton's going to get to 200 too. Don't worry.
Nice.
Don't worry. Don't worry. He will get there. The Yankees going to have three guys in their lineup that's going to have 200 plus strikeouts. Mark my words. Watch. Bronx Bombers. Bronx Swingers.
So here's the thing: is they are up in their on base percentage, and they're already, I think it was like 9th in on base percentage. So that's a good thing. But you're right. That's a lot of strikeouts, and all the on base percentage in the world. So there's legitimate arguments to both sides of this, because all the on base percentage in the world doesn't help you if the strikeouts come when men are on base.
Correct. And see, here's the problem. This is the only problem that you have with the Yankees, right? All of the bats that we're talking about, these big bats that they have, the one issue that we're going to always have is they all hit around the same place in the lineup. So it's either they're going to be ribby guys or they're going to be walk guys. And then what are you going to do to the rest of the lineup? So let's just say now you have 4 bats in your lineup that you trust. 4. We still got 5 more people in the lineup. And the only one that's hitting for average is DJ.
Oh, and by the way, expect at least one more trade, because Luke Voit has no place in the lineup now.
Bro, the Yankees the Yankees are bombing in every section to me. I don't know what they're doing. They're not going to make the postseason this year. So this trade was just, I don't know what this trade was supposed to do. Bro, I don't know. Let's just can we go to another team?
No, because we haven't mentioned why their priorities are so messed up. Here's the thing: is the biggest thing, the biggest hole for the Yankees has been pitching all year. Not only did they go out and make 2 blockbuster trades and not address that at all, they gave away 3 arms in the process. They sent 2 relievers to the Reds who went out and looked good in their debut last night. I mean, that's, 1 inning apiece, so whatever, we'll see. But and then they sent a minor league arm to Chicago. So not only have you not addressed your biggest need, you've now made it a bigger need. So that's why I'm saying I expect Luke Voit to get dealt tomorrow or in the wee hours or whatever, for at least one pitcher, whether it's a couple of relievers or a starter and a prospect or something. I mean, you can't get a super impactful pitcher for just Luke Voit, but they got to do something, man.
So this these trades are just gonna give them 3 more runs that they can blow the lead with.
Dude,
Basically.
that Yankee front office just got a call from George Steinbrenner while he's rolling in his grave, asking him, "What the hell are y'all doing?"
You know what the funniest thing about this is to me is, can you imagine another situation where a team 2.5 games out of the wild card adds Joey Gallo and Chris Bryant, and we're sitting here saying they're not making the postseason?
Honestly,
I can't.
here's the thing, and we got to be honest about this. Is the Yankees lineup and is their pitching staff better than the Blue Jays?
No.
Are the Yankees a better team than the Astros?
No.
Are they a better team than the Athletics?
No.
They're not
And
even
they're
the
not
best
better than the
team in
Rays
their
either.
And
division.
they're not better than the Rays, and they're not better than the White Sox.
Not even
named
better than the Red Sox.
Yeah.
I'm not naming the Red Sox for a reason, Trav, because whatever. But I'm just trying to make it clear that we just named 5 teams. I did this off the top of my head, bro. All 5 of those teams have a better chance because they have a better sustainable lineup. And Vlad Guerrero is better than every player in the Yankees lineup. Period. Junior is better than every player in their damn lineup. And he may win the damn Triple Crown. And the only reason he don't win AL MVP is because of somebody else being ignorant.
Well, you can't get mad at the Yankees.
I'm not mad at the
He
Yankees.
can't get mad at Otani either, man. Come on.
I'm not mad at Otani. Otani told Vlad Guerrero, "Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis." That's what he told him. They're coming to see me. They're coming to see the Otani and what's their names? That's what he called it. Let's go.
I mean,
Otani told Guerrero he wasn't competing in the home run derby.
So I mean, hey man, we saying, man. Like I said, man, it's not saying that, of course, what Storms. I like that point that you made, that they're trying to balance out the lineup, but even balancing out the lineup at this stage, it doesn't help the Yankees. It doesn't help them get where they need to get, bro.
So here's the thing: the Yankees are still the Yankees. Like these reports are out there that they're trying to stay under the luxury tax, and that's why they're getting these other teams to pay the salaries on these guys that they're acquiring. But I got to think that part of that is also so they can afford to go out and get some pitching tomorrow. I can't see that this is the end of the deals for the Yankees for this. It can't be, or they're not smart.
they might not be smart.
Well, that's possible too. If they don't make any more deals, if they don't go out and get some pitching, then I'm going to assume that they're looking at the Padres offense getting into the playoffs last year and probably this year, and the Red Sox leading the division with not much other than their offense, and deciding that a playoff appearance is good enough, which if that's the case, shame on you.
They will not beat my Rays, I'll tell you that.
Have they ever beat the Rays in the last 5 years?
They beat them in the most fluke. They can't beat the Rays to save them life. When is the last time they won a series against the Rays?
I'd have to look it up again, but I want to say off the dome it was like 18 or 17.
Bro, they are getting their asses handed to them by the teams in their division that matter. So you're definitely not making the postseason.
That's the biggest indictment on them not making the playoffs, because you play a 30-year games against your division.
So they just got these bouts to outscore these teams, didn't they? And they just lost today 14-0.
Huh?
To the aforementioned Rays.
Yeah.
They just got through getting taxed.
They just got through getting beat like what's the name on the Looney Tunes? Okay, I got you.
And speaking of
the Yankees, real quick, Trav, the Yankees and the Rays is like Tom and Jerry. Jerry always win. That's just what it is.
By the way, to any new viewers we might have, we're saying Rays on purpose. that was something that's stuck around since our very first show. When in the opening minutes I said Rays by accident because my brain said Tampa Bay Devil Rays, and which isn't even their name anymore, and my mouth said Rays, and they haven't let me forget about it a day since. So thank you.
And speaking of runs getting scored, and we were just talking about the Yankees just got smacked 14-0, and one of their teams in their division that heavily depend on their runs, they getting smacked by the Blue Jays 13-1.
Mm-hmm.
And that Toronto Blue Jay team is legit.
You damn right.
Yeah.
Vladimir is that dude.
From the very beginning of the year, I told you guys, this is a young team, but watch out for them to make a run. This team is young. This team is good. And this team is going to be better than the White Sox are now. They're going to be.
All them guys have been in a MLB locker room before the age of 5. They whole lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, they're going to be good. So
you're going to call them the Toronto Blue Juniors.
Yeah.
The juniors.
You got to think that's a big part of these guys' success, too, because they've seen what the major league life is like, right, and they grew up around it. So it's, by the time they got here, they were comfortable.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Hey, man, Vlad is a cold dude, man. Let me tell y'all something. I need to respect what Vlad Guerrero Jr. is doing out here, man.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I mean, that's a balanced breakfast at the plate. That's different what he did. He and that Miggy Cabrera. Remember when Miggy Cabrera had that stretch in baseball where he couldn't do no wrong when he stepped to the plate? Bro, he's in that type of rare space.
And this
it seems like he just locked in. And when a hitter like that is locked in, it don't matter what pitch you throw. It don't matter how hard you throw. It's about you gotta fool him to get him out. You don't want that problem.
Yeah, because you're not gonna fool him very often. This is another weird. There's so many weird parallels between his and his dad's careers. But here's another one: is he's having a season for the ages, and he's getting overshadowed by another more remarkable all-time feat. Vlad Sr. was overshadowed by the Griffeys and the McGuires and the Sosas and his entire career. And now his son's out here damn near going for a triple crown, almost has it in hand as far as current stats already. And all anybody can rightfully talk about is Shohei Ohtani. It's weird, man. All these things that 50, the same amount of games to hit 50 home runs.
Yeah, that's
stuff
crazy.
Like that just doesn't happen.
And think about this too, fellas. Think about this too. And Ohtani plays on the team with the best player in baseball.
Mm-hmm.
What is the irony of all of this?
And they're under 500.
That's so sick. I'm so sick. Oh my gosh.
Aren't they back under now?
Yeah, I believe so. Vlad
Guerrero. I think so.
Vlad Guerrero is in year 3. Tres. He's only 22 years young.
Yeah. To put that in perspective, he's as good as Miggy was when he got his triple crown. And Miggy was in what, year 12, 13?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. The Angels are 51-50 right now, so they're game over.
Yeah, now we got our statistician, Mr. Trav.
Just had to pull it up. Just pull it up real quick. And they losing right
Trav now. Is our R&D department.
I wish.
And wait, it says the Yankees are 9 games back from the Red Sox.
Oh yeah, the wild card is their only hope.
Yo,
Wild card is their only hope. They before the All-Star break, they were 0-6 against the Red Sox. And I think they've won something like 4 of 6 against them since. So they've evened it up a little bit. But
so before Rizzo and Galloway, I keep saying Galloway. Why? Gallo are in the lineup at the same time. They may be 11 games under behind the division.
that's a hell of a hole to climb out of.
They got some work to do.
Mm-hmm. And how about if Rizzo is just a rental for this year and he goes back to the Cubs?
That'll be so trifling. That'll be so trifling.
Here's the crazy thing is that's something that's a lot of people have been talking about, not just with him, but Baez and Bryant all coming back when their deals are up. So if you're the Cubs and these guys have all expressed interest in staying in Chicago, why would you not go to them and say, hey, look, if you're here for the long haul and you really, really want to help the organization, let us trade you for what we can get now. Go test free agency. Tell us what type of offers are out there. Let us match it. Come back, and we'll have everything we traded you for and you.
That would be sick.
and all of this stuff that we talking about right now, just I'm not even trying to bring them up just for no reason. How in the world are the Astros tied for the lead in the AL? How, bro? Just how?
No, you are
what, Central? You talking about the Central?
No, just they're tied with the Red Sox currently in the AL for the lead in the entire conference.
Oh, so they got the second best record in the AL.
No, they're tied.
Or they're tied.
Yeah, they tied. So they tied. They both
one A and
one B.
Yeah.
They got the second best and the first best, Trev.
It don't. But I mean, they let you know like what the Red Sox believe in and what the Astros believe in, and they both winning in their own little crazy way. But which one is going to hold up at the end?
Astros. They play defense.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say it every show. The Red Sox defense is not going to win them a playoff series. Period.
Right. Their method to their madness is more formidable to win baseball games than the Red Sox.
So let me ask y'all a question, right? What's more likely to happen? The Rays overtake the Red Sox, or the Blue Jays find a way to overtake
the A's for the wild card?
Oh, you can book that.
This is what's so interesting. This is what's so interesting.
A's they're the New Orleans Saints of baseball.
Wait. So you're saying the A's are not going to make the wild card?
No, they're going to make it.
Right now, currently, the A's are like 4 games out.
So your division leaders are what?
So right now, currently, just to put it into perspective for you, Trav, you got Houston and Boston at 63 and 40.
That's one.
You got the White Sox at 60 and 43.
That's 3.
And then after that, you got the Rays at 61 and 42.
And what's Oakland's record?
57 and 46.
So how many games they're behind?
About 4 games. That's about 4 games.
Oh, well, this year this may not be that year because I'm used to them making a wild card then losing.
This is the thing. Here's the thing. Did we go back in the majors this year? Did we go back to 4 teams?
Yes, you're at 4 teams.
No, there's 2 wild cards. Remember? So they play one game and the winner goes to the DS.
It's a play-in, right?
Okay. So that means that right now, currently, we have a situation on hand where Boston, Chicago, and the Astros will be in if it started today, and Tampa Bay and the A's will be playing for that spot.
Will be a play-in.
So here's just because we haven't mentioned them yet, and they're currently the first team out of the wild card right now is the Mariners. It's going to be really, really interesting to see what goes down in the next 24 hours with the Mariners because they've said 3 or 4 times since making their last trade that they're not done. So we don't know what this team's going to look like. It seems like just about anybody on the roster is up for grabs. So who knows who's going to leave, who's going to come the other way. But I think you can almost probably count them out too, because just based on the fact that I can never remember this dude's name. What's the name of the guy that they traded to the Astros? Graveman or
their
something?
Closer.
Graveman, is that right?
I forget the name too, Storms. I'm sorry.
Anyway, he was one of the most well-liked guys in the locker in the clubhouse. So you're messing with the team chemistry now, and a chemistry that's had them on a virtual tear to get to where they're at now. So
Kendall Graveman.
Graveman, okay, yeah. I don't know if messing with what's working is the right way to take. Really, what it is they took a centerpiece, not just off the team, but out of the clubhouse.
Mm-hmm.
And so they got to figure out a way for that not to negatively affect team chemistry, because all the reports are that the players are really upset that he got dealt.
So they did that, but they went ahead and they got Diego Castillo from the Rays.
They did.
But
they did. And so, they went and plugged that hole already. But and so that looks good on paper, but how does does he doesn't come in and have the same effect Graveman already had on the clubhouse?
No. So,
and that's important, is the chemistry between your players, because if guys don't get along and mesh well, they're not going to play well together. It's gonna affect their performance on the field. Maybe not quite so much as in a game like football or basketball, where guys' performance is much more singular in baseball. But I mean, morale is a real thing in every sport.
Yeah. So
I'm with you on that, Storms. I just think that the Oakland A's are at that stage now where we're at that De La Soul back to life situation with them. It's time to start coming back to earth with this. And reality says you can't just continue to be on the brink of being a decent or good team every year and then think that these other teams are not going to eventually surpass you. So if you're going to continue to be mediocre in this sport, bro, I don't want them in my playoffs. I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't want you in my playoffs knowing that you're only going to lose in the first round every year.
Right.
Like,
there's a reason they haven't been there in 20 years. No, I got you.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't want you there if you're going to be mediocre. Give these young teams like the Blue Jays an opportunity, the Blue Juniors, Give my Blue Juniors an opportunity, you know what I'm saying, to go do what they got to do. But they have to win. They're currently they're currently a game and a half back from the Yankees. They need this series and they need to pick it up. Boston and Tampa Bay have a at least about a six to 7 game lead on the Blue Juniors, man. It just is what it is. They got a lot of ground to catch up. They got a lot of ground to make. I'm rooting for the Blue Juniors to make something happen. Yes, I'm going to continue to call them the Blue Juniors from this day forward, because that's what they are, the Blue Juniors. Thank you.
Yeah, not only in baseball, but how about in basketball? We said let them teams come in that haven't been there for a while and let them do their thing. We were tired of seeing, the teams that came in like what? I think one of the teams we were talking about with the Magic that would come in and just get one round and out. We're tired of that. We're tired of seeing teams like that.
It gets tiring. It gets very tiring, but those teams have to do their part. That's the thing. Those teams that we like, that we know that's up and coming,
turn yourself up a little bit, Trav.
They have to do their part. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, now go ahead.
So can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
You still sound like you're across the room from your mic.
Oh, man, I don't know. But That's the thing, though. These younger teams have to do their part. This is the young. We want to see them. We want to see the magic that they bring up to the plate. We want to see all that, but they got to do their part. If we tired of seeing the A's and stuff, other teams do your part.
Here's the thing, though, is of course once you get to the postseason, you don't want to see anything that's not entertaining baseball, right?
Right.
But these young teams can't get there and put a good show on if they don't have the experience on that stage either.
Correct.
So I mean, it's not like you can't expect not to get any blowouts in a wild card game or something like that. Like that's going to happen sometimes,
right?
But so I don't know. I get what you're saying. Yeah, my bad. But
get right, Cat. Get right.
You're professional.
My I got a low battery warning, and the whole screen went black for a second. It freaked me out.
But I listen. I got y'all, but I'm gonna say this too. If my juniors, man, they got an opportunity, man. They look the part of a team that needs to taste the postseason, get their ass kicked once, and then come back stronger from it. And that's why we root for teams like that. You know what I'm saying? That's what we need. And they need to go to this one game and lose 5-1. Because it's going to be an entertaining ass 5-1. Because we're going to be excited to watch them play.
The Blue Jays are what we thought the Rays were last year.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at that.
It's just experience. Bottom line, experience is the best teacher in all of sports.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this now. The Tampa Bay Rays.
They're more talented, though.
Right. I'm going to say this. The Tampa Bay Rays, right now, with their organization, the last, what can we say, 7 years or so, Jorge?
Yeah.
7 years. The last 7 years have looked kind of like in the NBA with the Spurs. They plug and they move people around. They put the pieces together. No matter who comes in, who leaves, they're right there every year.
And they get the absolute best out of absolutely everybody.
Yeah.
So that's the nugget I'm gonna give for the night. Y'all gotta the Rays. What Ice Cube saying Friday? Yes.
Yes.
Yes. The Rays. Yes.
Close it out, sir. What you got?
So final thoughts before we get ready to wrap up the show.
Do we have time to cover one more? Because we didn't talk about the Marte trade yet.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I want you know what? That's due for tomorrow.
We can save that for tomorrow.
Yes, you want to
save that for tomorrow.
That's some good stuff.
Save that for tomorrow, and then I want to talk about the NL West tomorrow with you guys too. The NL West right now, I need all three of them teams to find a way to be a part of the NL playoff.
You know what I need from the NL West? I need the Padres, since they missed out on Scherzer, to figure out a way to find a pitcher that's going to give them more than 5 goddamn innings.
Yeah, we're talking about East now.
Oh my gosh, Snail, man.
My bad, y'all. I got excited.
But that's what we're gonna be on. But that's what we're gonna be on Friday, man.
That rotation is just too damn good to be this disappointing.
Mm-hmm.
Not only that. How wonderful is it going to be to see a wild card game, like a World Series game, with either one of those three teams?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell y'all, man. I think the Giants may be able to hold off the Dodgers in order for them to get in as the number 1 seed, right? The Brewers are gonna be right there. The Brewers may end up being in that 2-3 range too. They can outlast the Dodgers as well. For the Dodgers, you just want to get in.
Tomorrow.
But for the Dodgers, you just want to get in, really, because at the end of the day, y'all got the most talent. All you want to do is get in. You just want to get to the postseason. It don't matter if you in that one game scenario. In one game, you got better pitchers in one game than the rest of these teams have in the NL, bro.
Right. And if you find yourself, because here's the thing, if you find yourself in trouble in that wild card game, it doesn't matter who's available to go on the hill in the NLDS. Mm-hmm. You have to win that game. So if you have to, you're throwing Scherzer and Kershaw and May and all those guys out there because you have to win that game or you're going home. So that's what's so interesting about seeing the prospect of them in that game against the Giants or the Padres is, we could see 3 or 4 starters in one game if a team gets to a point where they feel like they absolutely have to go with their best available arm. Because you throw those guys out there for 1 or 2 innings, and guys don't get a second at bat against them, so it doesn't really give them a chance to settle in and know what to expect when they get to the plate. But then also, if you're only throwing them out there for 1 or 2 innings, then you still have the opportunity to run them out there in the DS if you get there.
How disappointing a year would it be for either the Dodgers or the Padres to get eliminated in the wild card game?
They get eliminated in a wild card game, Ty gonna hate me.
The Giants are the only team of the 3 that can afford to get to the playoffs and fall on their faces because nobody expected them to be there.
Yep.
So it's not that big a deal. It's a huge deal to Posey and Crawford and Belt and those guys who, those guys are old enough. This might be their last chance. But
nobody is expect. Listen, this is just like the Bobby Brown and Keith Sweat battle. Nobody expected Keith Sweat to win. We got something in common.
This man.
Rock. And then Bobby Brown will come out and say, "Drink responsibility." I said, "Listen, man, get these folks off the stage." The Giants is Bobby Brown right now. If they get on there and they be like, "Drink responsibility," we ain't gonna be too mad. You know why?
Listen, I'm gonna need you to hop in the settings real quick and change the name of the show to The Return of Germ Jukebox.
Hey man, I'm just saying, man. So look, man, this was a crazy show. We're gonna come back tomorrow. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. We're gonna talk about the NL. The NL got a lot of interesting pieces to it. Like you said, we got a 3-team race in one division. And those 3 teams are the best 3 teams in the NL, to be honest. Like, we got to call it what it is. If they was in 3 separate conferences and 3 separate divisions, this would be a 3-team race to get somewhere, and they beating up on each other, and they're still head and shoulders above everybody else in the conference. That's crazy. So with that being said, we got a show coming up tomorrow. We're going to come back again. We got some breaking news that we'll be announcing next week probably, or the week after. So make sure you guys are stay tuned for that. I'm Germ. That's Trav. That's Jorge. That's Category 5. This is The Dish Scene on Instagram, The Dish Scene on Twitter. Make sure you follow all of those platforms. And, of course, make sure you join the group on Facebook, The Dish. Hey, man, y'all know about the scene. Keep your eyes on the scene. We got this covered for you. We'll see y'all next time. We out.